When I was a kid, I loved hearing bedtime stories. They were so fun to hear, and I would fall asleep so quickly when listening to them. I remember I had trouble sleeping back then, and that was because I wanted to stay up late. Life was fun, everything was exciting, and I just wanted to play more. And now, as an adult, I still have trouble sleeping, but the reasons are so different. It's not because my life is exciting or fun, it's rather the opposite. Restless thoughts attack my mind, troubling the waters of my deep, dark ocean. I sometimes wonder if this is what it's like being an adult. I fall into the abyss, wondering if I ever will get to the bottom of it. I miss those days when, if ever, I fell into some abyss, I would just play in the waters, wondering all the amazing things I see the more I fall down, down, down. So the story I'm going to tell you today is something I wrote for all of you who are falling down some abyss, wondering if you'll ever get to the bottom of it. It may be a mystery or some lost truth or perhaps forgotten memories. Now, let's begin. Title: The Bottom. A long, long time ago, there was a girl who loved swimming in this beautiful lake surrounded by the most majestic trees with such generous amounts of leaves. She would love to go out on gloomy days where she couldn't see the depth of the waters. She would imagine what lay underneath the waters and went in as deep as she could go. She had to hold her breath for long periods of time, and it was not an easy task to do. But she was young, and she was determined. She could put all her focus to this task. Nothing would be able to bother her. She would muster up all her strength with undivided attention and would go deeper and deeper into the lake. Then one day, she went in deeper than she had ever done before and saw something a few feet away. It looked like a bottle with something in it, like a piece of paper. The strange thing about the bottle was that it was ever so still. It didn't move with the water and just stood its place. The girl was intrigued and could not get the image of the bottle out of her head. For days and nights, she lay in bed thinking, what would be written in that bottle? A lost love letter, perhaps? Or maybe a map to some hidden treasure? Or words written in an unknown language from a different world? Her imagination saw no limit. She would play with all sorts of possibilities in her head, and as her mind grew stronger, so did her body. She practiced her breathing and tried again to get closer to that mysterious bottle. Days and even months passed, and finally she was adept at using her muscles and lungs to hold her breath, so much that at long last she could grasp the bottle with her own two hands. She was just moments away from achieving her dream that she had longed for so many days. She had been so happy all that time, but suddenly a thought flashed across her mind, and for the first time, she hesitated. The thought nagging her was becoming more and more discomforting. She couldn't help but ask, would this all come to an end? All the days and months she had been dreaming and working towards this moment, would they all come to an end? She couldn't be sure, but she was young, and soon she thought it didn't really matter. Life would always give her new things to look forward to. So she grabbed the bottle and carefully examined it. Inside the bottle, there was a small piece of paper with some writings on it. The writings were small, but not small enough to be illegible. She strained her eyes and saw what they said. If you open the bottle, you can get to the bottom. The bottom, she wondered. The bottom of what? The lake? Or was it a figure of speech? Was she about to crack some long-lost secret? The words sparked her curiosity, and she did not wait to think of anything else. She briskly opened the bottle and waited for some big change. At first, she felt or saw nothing different. Then she found herself not having trouble holding her breath. It was as if she was breathing. She was actually breathing in the water. It was like magic. She couldn't believe it. She happily swam in the waters. Nothing was holding her back now. She could go deeper and deeper as much as she wanted. She couldn't believe her luck. For days and nights, she would play in the water. For hours at a time, she went deeper and deeper into the lake. She played with all kinds of creatures, each with an unfathomable beauty of their own. She saw breathtaking views that she was sure no one had ever laid eyes on before. Everything seemed unreal and too good to be true. But for some strange reason, she never reached the bottom of the lake. She pondered whether the bottom in the message implied something else. But as more and more days flew by, her time of pondering became shorter and shorter. She had so many other things to do in the world above the waters that she grew more distant from the lake. She found less time in things that had inspired her so much. The more she grew older, her mind was full of things that she had to solve than to dream. There was no room for a lake with a mysterious bottle. Then the time came for her to leave her home and the lake she had so loved. She was to settle at a completely different place with new challenges ahead. She was busily packing her bags when she saw something out of the corner of her eye. A very rusty bottle was stuck among some books. She pulled the bottle out and saw that it was the bottle from so long ago with the mysterious message saying if you open the bottle, you can get to the bottom. Memories flooded back to her head, and she thought of all the great things she had seen and done with this bottle. A sad smile spread across her face. There were more important things to do now. She left the bottle on the bookshelf and packed the rest of her bags. And she left and never saw the bottle again. That's how most realities go, but this reality will go differently. The girl didn't leave the bottle. She took it with her because she was still very curious about the message in the bottle and what the bottom meant. And in doing so, she never forgot about how she had felt underneath the water, the utmost calm and sense of relaxation, and the sheer joy and enthusiasm. How she had spent months happily working towards the bottle, the feeling of anticipation, and then the feeling of satisfaction. She never forgot. And every time she opened that bottle and looked inside, she was at the lake again. The lake filled with all her happy spirits and vitality. As she went through the ebb and flow of life, she would frequently look into the bottle, for the bottle was her compass, her guide, and whenever she looked inside, she saw what her heart desired. And she thought, if that's not the bottom, what is? Every day she knew her heart was resting well in the waters of her beloved lake, ever so calm and ever so strong.